Welcome back, my Better Life believers. It has been a little over a month since I have talked to you guys. I have had so much stuff go on since then, so let's just jump right into it. In my last video was a suicide, talk, rant, whatever you want to call it, rumble, ramble, whatever. This one is going to be, however, different. This is a update video. I am just letting you know I'm still here. I am still going to try and bring you content. I have a different background. I changed where I'm sitting in the house because I'm going to start trying to make my own area and try and make these look a little better. I'm going to actually have a background. Things are going to change on this channel. I'm starting to realize the do's and don'ts that I should do, and so on and so forth. But to get on with it, in the video before last, in my personal experience part 2, I ended it by talking about my biological father and kind of just what I dealt with growing up, and how he was not the best father. He wasn't always around. He was a drug addict, so on and so forth. And, he was a substance user. He was domestically abusive towards my mother, and the things I had to witness, what we had to deal with, the struggles. But, I was 10 years old when he decided not to keep me anymore, decided to give me up. And in February of this year, he passed away. I am now 22, so for about a good chunk, the last time I really sat and had to deal with him and talk to him, I was 16, so I wasn't a part of his life for a while, and his health was depleting. His, from the years of hard drugs and alcohol abuse, he just died from having, from what I understand, he had a few strokes from lack of function from certain organs and things like that. I don't know too much of the technicalities of it. I do know that I do know that I don't know how to feel about it. I'm starting to kind of I'll sit and think about it from time to time. I'm starting to learn what I should feel about it. Because to you guys, I've only told you, oh, he was, a bad guy, he did this, because of his addiction, it caused him to be a bad man. And, I really don't see him as anything but a bad man. Now, there is parts of me that are like, that is my father, I wouldn't be here without him. The normal, to myself kind of banter, because it's hard to sit here and say, oh, well, I hated him, he's nothing to me, whatever, but because he is something. There is something there. He was my father. There was a time when I was younger when we were, I was close with him. Despite everything, I was still somewhat close to him. Like I said, I wouldn't be here without him, obviously. But the thing of it is it took me so long to make this video because I didn't know what to say to you guys. For those of you who are, still trying to understand how my life is up until this point. What led me to want to do this, what led me to want to do YouTube, as my platform of expressing how I feel and trying to give you guys some information, and just like always, I want everybody to know that you are not alone. There's always someone who is there for you, who has been through what you've been through. And I'm starting to piece together different things for myself that will help me along in my depression and my own, just to keep me sane. And I actually am going to share with you something, definitely not sponsored or anything, God I wish, but there is a band, one of my favorite bands, It is called Icon for Hire. They originated in Decatur, Illinois, and the lead singer, her name is Ariel Bloomer, and she has just recently come out with a book that she wrote called Turning Your Pain into Art. Now, I've only read a little bit of it, so I can't give you like my full, like explanation of what I, got out of it. But so far from reading it and skimming through and just kind of trying to understand it a little bit, this is a beautiful book, and I highly recommend it. It is called Turning Your Pain into Art by Ariel Bloomer. And it really cuts deep. It makes you really sit and think about yourself. It really, like I said, I'm not going to get too into it. It's got places where you can actually write in it, make lists, reasons why you don't love yourself, reasons, like, things that I don't want to really sit and talk about, things I don't want to sit and, like, think about. Nobody wants to sit and think about the reasons why they don't love themselves or anything like that. But this actually brings me to my point. I don't know if it's okay to feel, like, if it's alright for me to actually feel like I do love my father, or anything like that, because of what I've been through now with him and everything. But the thing of it is I do love him. He was my father. He will always be my father. But the thing of it is I can still hate him, but also love him. Now that's a big thing. That's like a big, like, contradiction. But what I mean by that is I loved the idea of him as I was a really young child. Like, there was times, like, I remember, him cooking good meals for us. Like, you have to, even if there's so much bad, you have to pick through all of that bad. Like, just put it, I don't know why I always bring it to food, but, like, put it in a bowl, and it's like your favorite food, but with some little, or it's like your most unfavorite food, but there's little things in there that you like. It's like picking through that to get to the good stuff. And despite everything, there was some little tidbits of us having a good life with him. Me and my older half-brother as well. Now, I don't talk much about my half-brother because I don't think he would be comfortable with that, but, he was a lot closer with him than I was. So I kind of, just watching him through this whole process, it was really, to be honest, it was really difficult for me to watch him, because I didn't exactly feel the same way. He actually tried to save our father. He tried to do this and that, and it broke my heart, because I am currently rebuilding a wonderful relationship with my brother. It's really good, and I think me and him both need this. And I'm building relationships back with my nephew. He is 13 years old. It's crazy to think that I haven't been a part of either of them two's life in a very long time. And I love them both. And I am trying to, first off, not trying to cry in this video. Not gonna do it. But I think what I really need is family. And that is something that, for a hot minute, I have not really sat and thought about. Like, and I'm not just talking about my, adopted mother and all that, because I will always love her. She has saved me. She has saved me from the pits of hell. But I know this sounds terrible, but I do need some connection with some blood family. And the only people I trust is my brother right now. And that's fine, because the rest of them, if they're not willing to meet me halfway or even try or be decent human beings, like, I don't want to waste my time, because that's important. Time is everything. And I just want to be able to sit and enjoy my life as it is now with the family that I have left, because lately I've just been sitting and thinking about it. 2006, my mother died. And I haven't told you, I haven't, in 2012, somebody else who is of a parent, father figure of mine has died. I am spoiling alerting on my own stories. I will make a part 3 of personal experience where I explain who my quote-unquote Uncle Kevin was. He was, him and my adopted mother, my Aunt Mary, they took me in. But in 2012, he died of a heroin overdose as well. And so then 2018, another 6 years later, my biological father. So addiction runs deep in families. And with saying that, it's hard for me to sit here and explain all this to you guys because I don't want to think about it myself right now. Because, of course I'm not, I'm not a substance user. I don't do anything like that because I know better. And I know what they do to you. I know what they do to your family, to your body, to your soul, to your mind. It's traumatic. And to think that all 3 of them went through that kills me. Because I would have liked, just like with my biological mother, I would have loved to have gotten to know her better. And with my adopted father, I would have loved to have spent more time with him. Because we did spend a lot of time together. He was one of the closest people to me. And then with my biological father, this is where things get a little confusing and a little, nerve-wracking for me because I just wanted him to acknowledge me. I wanted him to know me and understand why he chose things over me. Because living with him for that short time that I did, of like a year, like how I explained in my, previous video, it was weird. I seen a whole nother side of him that I didn't want to see. And for that to be one of the last standing memories, those memories to be the last standing memories I have, and then to hear a few, years down, a few years down the line, here we are, 12 years later, I was having to figure out his funeral that we ended up having to cancel due to family members being outrageous and ridiculous. And they wouldn't let us just have peace with him. So we just had to cremate him and keep him. Currently, with that, we are still not sure what we're going to do with him. I know we have some plans in the works. But, it's upsetting because we can't, just because especially me, my brother is excluded from this, but because I, for one, have not been a part of his life for so long, they think that I don't care. But I'm going to tell you something. I care a lot. He was one of those people that I would have wished and I prayed for and I wished for I could just have a normal relationship with. Because I was so young with my biological mother, it was weird, I thought that was the normal. Then with my adopted father, it was different. I got to see the good parts of him, the lovable parts, the teaching me how to cook, all that stuff, just actual love of a parent. And then with my biological father, I just didn't. And it's upsetting because I feel like I just didn't get anything that I wanted out of that relationship. And so that's where I stand right now. 3 parental deaths, and each occurring every 6 years. I'm going to be honest with you. My heart and my soul is tired. And I've always had depression, but I've never, so on this channel, I don't think I've talked about yet, like, my actual, like, physical problems I'm having. I have fibromyalgia, something that my biological mother had, and, my body hurts. So, body, soul, and mind, and heart, they are tired. They don't want to deal with this anymore. So, with fibromyalgia comes more depression, so I am being double teamed. You know, my heart and soul have been depressed for a long time, but now my body is depressed as well. So, that's why it's taken me so long to make this video. And I apologize for the ones who have been texting me and hit me up and just waiting for this video. And I hate to disappoint people, and I hate to not, you know, I just want to create this content. I want you to hear my stories, to hear my facts, you know, book reviews, you know, books that help you with depression and things like that. Like, there's going to be more in the future, and I promise you, I will not wait this long to make a video. And this video is getting really lengthy, but, I'm also having other, family issues with, you know, that I am not going to discuss on here because, you know, I don't want to bring it up. But it does have, you know, it just has more to do with addiction and more to do with, addiction at a young age. And it's scary. Thinking about it, I will break down. I'm not going to do it on here. I don't need you guys to see that. Y'all don't want to see that. I'm an ugly crier. But I am going to end this video, and I just, sorry, I just want to, I just want everybody to know that I'm back, and I won't be gone for so long every time. So be expecting a video, another video out soon. Hopefully this time I'll get an interview with either a family member or, you know, maybe a friend or something. That's my next goal. So they're not going to be as close together as they used to be. That was very strenuous. I can't do that. Maybe in the future when I have more time. But for now, you know, make sure you're always believing in a better life. And I adore you guys. Thank you for your patience.